We've got some of our senior team here with VoiceXP to talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all the different things that are included. Just want to kind of go around the room and talk about who's here. We'll start with Kareem, and then we'll go to Mark.
Hello, everybody. How are you? This is Kareem Hafez. I'm a co-founder here at VoiceXP, as well as the SVP of Sales. Really excited to walk through our Black Friday and Cyber Monday promotion today.
Hello, I'm Mark Tucker. I'm the principal engineer here at VoiceXP, Alexa Champion. I'm excited to be talking about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and what these devices are going to bring to the holidays.
Well, thanks, Mark. Kareem, my name is Doug DeVitri. I'm the Senior Vice President of Marketing for VoiceXP, and really kind of designing the channel and like from a marketing standpoint. And really like for what we're talking about here, before we even get into Black Friday and Cyber Monday, is that our company, VoiceXP, is programming this software or voice as a user interface for products like Amazon Echo, Google Home, and then eventually some of the other platforms. But man, like how many people right now, you know of, Kareem, Mark, have one of these devices in their home right now?
If I'm not mistaken, I think there's about 33 million devices worldwide.
Yeah, and Kareem knows most of those people. I only know a few of them, but yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have them, and it's going to be a hot product for the holiday season. A lot of people are going to be getting voice assistants in their homes this holiday season.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think a couple months ago when Amazon did their Amazon promotion, they sold I think near 2 million devices just in one day. I know it was a little bit shy of that, but I mean, pretty impressive.
Thousands of devices a second were flying off the shelves. Yeah.
Well, I know one of our partners, VoiceBot. So just a website for everybody to write down, and we'll probably should include it in the show notes. As VoiceBot.ai does a lot of research, and they kind of share it on their blog. Brett Kinsella is a co-founder there. One of the stats that he pulled out was that by the end of this year, it's projected, right? 88 million of these smart million devices will be sold. And you think about, as far as like the groundswell, just about every home will have at least one smart speaker. I know I'm kind of looking around. In my house, I have 3 smart speakers. How many of these devices do you guys have?
Yeah, I have 4.
Yeah, I'm with Kareem. I have 4 as well.
So it's crazy, kind of like we have a computer, we have an iPad, we have a phone. Now we have this different voice technology that allows us to interact with a lot of different software that's out there, different websites, different companies, big brands. And in the case of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, now retailers have the ability to promote their specials using this voice-enabled technology to their customers. So let's talk about that from a sales standpoint and then a development standpoint. Kareem is our head of sales, and he kind of is working with customers to introduce them to this new platform. Kareem, tell us about some of the conversations that you're having, that you're seeing, of how retailers can really either increase revenue or increase the number of customers with the adoption of these new platforms.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that this is the hottest, newest, and widespread engagement channel out there. Just by saying that there's just on 2 of the 5 platforms that are out there, between Google and Amazon, if you're talking about a reach of 33 million people, you are capable of directly marketing and carrying a conversation with 33 million homes. And when you talk about homes, know that the average household has 4 individuals. So you're not just reaching one individual. Your target market becomes, expanded by 4 people. And individuals that do have these devices are on average engaging with these platforms for about 45 minutes a day. So, gone are the days of just simple, no one wants to hear a commercial. You fast forward through your DVR, everyone's got their shows recorded. Newspaper, you're going to skim right over that center ad, for Macy's, so on and so forth. Not a knock to Macy's, but this is the way to reach the majority and the populace here in the US if you want to show that your brand is innovative, as well as being able to engage with a wider demographic.
Yeah, you mentioned something specific about changing the messaging inside of the devices customized to the company who's on the platform, just like customizing the copy you might put on a website, right?
Absolutely. I mean, how great would it be if I received a direct message from the CEO of Macy's welcoming me to, the holiday season, while giving me, an offer that I couldn't refuse in order to, go and ultimately take advantage of some of the promotions that are already in place anyway. This is just giving your ability to take those marketing dollars and stretch them even farther.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And from a development standpoint, Mark, I know a lot of the customers that I'm talking to, they have all these great ideas and they have all these features that they want to add in. Well, from a development standpoint, and just so you know, Mark is one of 22, is it, Alexa champions in the US or in the world? So like, Mark is the man when it comes to developing these skills. I just want to kind of give you a little shout out here. Tell us about some of the features in the programming that are kind of available when customers say, well, I want this, when you could even do even more.
Yeah, Grant, great, thanks. Yeah, it is an honor to be selected by Amazon to be one of, I think it's 27 actually in the world, to be an Alexa champion and be able to talk about this technology and just see it grow. It is, new features are being added to the platform. It's getting smarter every day. The majority of the stuff that Alexa is able to do and Google Home and these other devices are up in the cloud. So constantly learning, constantly growing and expanding the capabilities. I just want to talk for a second about just how big voice is going to be, and the fact that you're doing something. It could be driving, it could be cooking, it could be talking with a friend or something. You could realize that you need to do something. You think about it, you say it, and then it's done. You walk in, you see that want to turn the lights on, you say it, they're on. You think about, oh, I need to add this to my shopping list, to my to-do list. You say it, it's done. So you don't have to fumble for the phone and unlock it and find the app and load it. 30 seconds later, you could be buying something off of this a voice commerce platform. So we're excited about the technology that's there. Definitely voice first is a new platform to develop for, and there's a lot of differences in how you design for that versus designing for a screen. But then there's also the Echo Show device, which allows you to have a voice first, screen second experience, where you could just have it voice only, or you can have some additional information shown on the screen. And in the case of Black Friday ads, it could be your ad.
That's really interesting, because we were talking about user experience, and this is kind of a segue for you, Kareem, is, let me talk about what user experience and what it's been for websites. And then now we have voice as a user experience. Well, how does defining the user experience for voice equate to more sales?
So ultimately, the beauty here is that this is a direct interaction that you can track. We have all of the analytics behind who engaged with your brand and that conversation. So that's where the true ROI comes. I mean, no different than a ad in the paper, an ad on radio, and then an ad on TV. You have that same experience, but you're actually interacting with the client. And then the beauty is you don't get these jumbled metrics back. You actually know exactly who engaged, when they engaged, how many times they engaged, and where they engaged from. You know what products they're interested in. This really helps you further define that demographic that you are targeting, while also understanding how can you sell them your products this year, right here, right now, because you're having a direct conversation with them.
Yeah, and something that's interesting about that, some people might say, well, this is kind of too soon. So, maybe I'll do a pass this year on getting on the voice platform, and we'll worry about it in 2018. But I think this is the perfect time to get out there, get in there, and understand the technology and grow with it, as opposed to trying to play catch up. What do you think, Kareem?
I mean, let's be honest, guys. Retail as an industry is really suffering because of e-commerce, and what we're looking to drive as retailers is, foot traffic, promotions that get people into the door, into the stores to actually go out and shop. And I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm still one of those individuals that shops that still needs to touch something. I need to physically be there. I need to try something on. If I don't, then I'm sorry. I'm probably going to buy it on Amazon, and I'm probably going to end up returning it just because I'm not going to have that. I fell in love with this product at the actual store.
Yeah, you mentioned something interesting, because we talk about foot traffic. Now there's voice traffic, right?
Absolutely.
And that voice traffic is the words that is number one, being found, and you have to be able to enable it. And I guess where some of the companies really see as a new channel, just like maybe 10 years ago they just got a new app that they had to adopt, and now who's using this app? Well, how do we increase the adoption rate? What are some ways that you can maybe share with some of the folks about how you can increase so they get the skill? Great. Well, now what? How do you get people to actually use it?
So I think from a user experience adoption perspective, it's further exposing your brand to this new channel. So having a combination of personalized messaging, that's the biggest thing. I want to know that I'm special, right? When I'm purchasing a product, it's a lot of times you get that repeat business because of the actual experience that you had with that organization, with that company, with that brand. And you're going to go back and back and back, and that's how not missing out on this holiday season and the opportunity this year is only letting you get ahead of the curve, so that you've already got that following next year. But by utilizing the skills and conversations that we are building for both Alexa and Google Assistant, we're able to drive that direct conversation so that your clients feel like they are getting that personalized touch, and missing out on 33 million people this year, and then missing out on 90 million next year and 200 million the year after. You're just simply growing your following. And it's like you were saying earlier, Doug, it's no different than when, back in 95, when websites were starting, they were static, and you simply had to have a presence out there. Then they became dynamic. Then we had mobile. So the websites had to become responsive because the mobile phone became a channel. Then social media became a channel. Well, 33 million users out there just on 2 of the 5 platforms, I think is validation enough that this is a channel, and your clients and customers are there. So you need to be there as well. You need to be present, you need to be relevant, and you need to be personalized.
Yeah, and development-wise, as far as adding and refreshing content on a regular basis, so that you always have fresh content out there for your customers, and continue to engage them and understand things that are important to them. The technology is there so that we can update these skills and actions on a regular basis, so that the content is always fresh.
Yeah, and that's great, Mark. And so one of the things that we have on our Black Friday page, or Black Friday Cyber Monday promotional page, is a number of features, right? Features that kind of discuss different ways of being able to customize, or maybe it's having to even add more security to it. Mark, can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on some of the different ways that features can be integrated with the brands?
Yeah, so we have a number of different options. Definitely, we have personalized welcome messages, and so a way to, very first, once you get into the skill, you're already making a connection with your customer. They can go ahead and put their advertisements on there. They could be regular Alexa voice or the default Google Assistant voice, or you can do professional audio. If you wanted to add that, there's an option there. You can also then go ahead and put your ads there. And if you don't have an Echo Show device, which has the screen that will show you the actual images of your products, there's always the Alexa Companion app that will also show the images. So you can definitely see the content and have a summary of, you can put your products up and search for it and figure out when you're when you're going to be open for Black Friday, and if they show up at certain times, what they're going to get. Cool.
Very cool.
And let's not forget Cyber Monday too. We talked a lot about Black Friday because that's a big day, but Cyber Monday is a huge day as well.
Well, sales-wise, Kareem, like how many, and it was specific to retail, like what percentage of sales happen on these specific days, like compared to, their, gross annual revenue?
If I'm not mistaken, it sits in between 30 and 40% for the major retailers out there. So, grossing that, again, being able to make that reach when people are actually out there shopping and, looking for those ideal gifts for their family members and their loved ones. It's just another way to reach all of the families that are out there that are, inevitably shopping for their, loved ones.
It just reminds me of what you see on TV, right? As far as these specials go, when after Thanksgiving, everyone kind of like shows up super early in the morning, and then all of the shelves are empty, and then people start fighting. Customers are actually fighting with each other over the products inside of the stores. Now you don't have to do that with online, and now you can just do it with your voice, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think take last year. I think the hot ticket item beyond the Amazon Alexa was the old school Nintendo. Everyone went out and that thing back in 1984 was less than $100, and these things were going for over $500 as you got closer and closer to Christmas. So it's crazy how a almost like timeless item like the Nintendo, was the hot ticket item last year. And I mean, that's in essence what we're asking and talking to retailers about to promote, because you've got the retailers already have all of the data around what the top 25 products they're going to sell this year are. Trend analysis has been happening since last year, and all you have to do is promote it. And this is just, again, another way to reach 33 million people.
Well, yeah, I think the Echo Dot has 4 buttons, just like the Nintendo does, right?
Pretty much.
Right. When I think, we're talking about all these things you can do, but anybody who's going to allocate any type of marketing spend or promotional spend on a new concept, Mark, what are some things you shouldn't do, don't do, and maybe some things that you can do in order to kind of make this thing work from a development standpoint?
Ooh, do's and don'ts. So I would say one of the things that you don't want to do if you don't have a specialty in creating for these devices or tackling the voice user interface is just thinking that your developers can handle it. Developers, and I'm a developer with 20 years of experience, and I take my hat off to the designers. I can get things to a certain point on whether it be a screen or a voice UI, and it's goodish, if that's such a word, but it's definitely not where it needs to be. And just like a good conversation, it seems effortless when it's happening. When you're making one of the participants of this conversation is a device, it's actually very challenging to get it so it seems so effortless and non-contrived. And so I say definitely consult with a specialist like us here at VoiceXP that can help you craft the conversation. We'll work with whoever we need to on your side to make sure that the message is exactly what you want it to be, and we'll get the skills and actions done for you.
I think what you're saying, Mark, is get your bread from the bread maker.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
Well, one of the things that bugs me with some of the existing, software that's programming these skills is they run on. It's like this huge long paragraph of the device speaking to you, and you kind of like lose your train of thought because you just want a quick action item, and like the script, it's almost like the script is too long.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely you. I think it's approximately 150 words per minute that Alexa is speaking to you, and you definitely don't want her to go on and on and on. It's basically, if you think about taking a breath and saying a sentence or two, or maybe three, I guess if they're short, that is really what you want to be able to give to your users. That is the type of experience, and then let them ask for additional information, and then give them the additional information if they want it.
Yeah, interesting. One of the conversations we had a panel of experts, fly into St. Louis. One drove into St. Louis. One was Nandini Stocker. Nandini, if you're watching, I apologize, I'm going to get your title wrong, but she's the head of conversational intelligence at Google. So anything that's like voice as a user interface to Google, she runs that entire department. We also had Bradley Metrock, who runs Voice First podcast. So if you listen to podcasts, that's definitely one that we recommend. In fact, we're a part of that, and we're also sponsors of it as well. So you definitely want to check out some of the episodes from other thought leaders in the industry. And one of the things that we kind of like realized from this discussion was, in order to release this type of kind of platform inside of a company, it takes several different areas of expertise in order to get it right. So, for example, Mark understands the development standpoint. Kareem understands the sales standpoint. I understand the marketing. Well, what about actually employee engagement? Like, is there somebody inside the company that understands that as a skill? Or, what are some of the other areas that we need to kind of tie in other types of experts so that when we release this, we kind of like cover the gamut and not just, hopefully, it's like one person knows everything. It's just not realistic. What do you guys think as far as specialists inside of this process?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because for a long time, some of the specialties that you've needed for software would be a graphic designer and a programmer and a business analyst, but I think there's definitely more so recently in the last decade this whole understanding of the need for user experience designers. And what's interesting with the voice world is that it's a whole different pool of people than we typically would be working with. You can grab somebody from English and the humanities, linguistics. You can grab somebody from the theater arts where they can script writing or other things. There's lots of different things that in the voice world, a lot of different skill sets that weren't previously part of that pool of talent that's needed is definitely needed for voice.
Well, for a company to release this, I mean, do they need to get their IT department involved, or I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, yeah, so we definitely have some options there. If it's these skills could be hosted pretty much anywhere. We are focusing, if we're doing Alexa on the AWS platform, and we can take away all that worry from you if you. If you have it, if you don't have that specialty in doing Amazon Web Services, we can host it for you. If it's something where there's a need for you to have it in-house, we can work with your IT department and make sure that things are hosted where they need to be for your comfort level.
Yeah, I know, and even Black Friday it's just like right around the corner. The date is, correct me if I'm wrong, November 24th. So we're kind of 2 months away from this. Like, Kareem, if somebody wanted to get involved specifically with the Black Friday, promotion, when should they contact somebody from our team?
I think, as quickly as possible, what we're looking to do for all of our clients is have them on board and engaged with us in early October. We're looking to kind of end the promotion at at the beginning of October, maybe extend it just a bit, but ultimately getting the conversational design done in the month of October, because to Mark's point, we hold all the relationships with Google and Amazon to ensure that your interactions with them are going to get published on time. And what we're looking for from a best practices perspective is to launch all of these ads and promotions on November 1st, so that Black Friday and Cyber Monday can run synonymously throughout the month of November, ultimately taking down Black Friday right after the Black Friday promotion ends, and then running Cyber Monday through the rest of November, and then bringing it all down after that. Should you want to run a December promotion, happy to talk to you guys about that, but that's the execution plan. So really getting engaged with our ambassadors and our conversational experts in-house during the month of September, leading up to getting the conversation designed in early October.
And something that's important to bring up is that what you get on that is that there is a Black Friday skill that will be an aggregation of all of these different products that different companies that are advertising through voice with us. But then each of the companies will get their own customized Black Friday skill as well. So you've got two avenues to get into your content, and you have a choice. You can have it on Amazon Alexa, Google Home, or both. So there's lots of flexibility in the program.
Well, tell me what, I'm just going to put this to make it real, like maybe a more basic question. Like, what does a Black Friday ad look like on voice technology? Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's really simple.
Conceptualize it.
Yeah, I think it's really simple. It's an introductory message, a welcome message. There's a goodbye or exit message. You put that as a bumper to the ad, and then you have 25 products that you're going to promote for Black Friday. You could have the same or different products on your Cyber Monday ad. Then what also is included is all of the imagery, the videos, the text that is also part of the promotion. So think about just simply sending us the ad that you're running in the newspaper, and then having someone that you want to have as the voice of your brand record a quick snippet for a welcome and an exit message. So the heavy lifting is really done on the programming side. We ask very little of our clients, even as little as, hey, point us to your last ad, and we'll take care of the rest.
Well, I know some retailers are worried about promoting a product that maybe runs out of stock. Like, how do you handle that where you're promoting something that maybe they don't want to sell it? Like, can you pull down the ad? Can you change the ad? Like, how does something like that work?
Yeah, we'll definitely have the flexibility built in that customers can notify us that certain products are to not be shown at this time, and so then we can turn them off one by one as needed.
This just blows my mind. To kind of wrap things up here real quick, I'm just going to ask each of you guys, one question, and then anybody that wants to participate in these webinars in the future, we've got a link on our website that you can register. We're going to be doing these on a regular basis, and so if you want to hop on, just and have a conversation with us, live, you have the ability to do that. Inside of the comment section on Facebook, please, share with us, some questions you have, or maybe some concerns you have. Privacy is a big deal, especially because, we've got these devices that can record us. How do you handle situations like that? So we want to hear from you what your concerns are, your questions. So then that way, when we produce the next, VoiceXP office hours, that we can specifically, answer those, whether you, decide to just show up in the comments or participate live in the video. So guys, as we kind of wrap things up here, what do you see as far as voice as a user experience the trend being, because it's already kind of, it seems like it's going gangbusters right now. What do you see the trend being the next 6 months, and how companies are starting to, become aware, adopt, and start to engage with their customers on this platform?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. We're going to see over the next 6 months a lot more celebrity presence on this platform. We're going to see a lot more of the everyday brands that we know and love also showing up through this channel. And there are going to be a lot of innovative and interesting things that are going to happen on it. I can't say what they are, but I know there's a lot of creative people that are doing some interesting and amazing things on it, and it's just going to get even more exciting. This is, if I think about it, if this was a marathon, even though we're in the early days and maybe just past the starting line, it's already exciting now, and it's just going to get more exciting over time.
What's funny you mentioned that, Mark, with celebrities. One of our new customers is Chingy. Howard Bailey, platinum recording artist, St. Louis, Missouri. So he's promoting his, new single on Amazon Alexa. So we ask, Chingy, where's your skill? He's going to say, right there.
Absolutely.
I
love it. Some of the way that I like to depict the future of voice is that everything that was created for the web, in essence, has to be recreated for voice. So think about all of the things that you interact with your computer today. All of that has to be re-architected for voice. And that's why our platform and our team has that's why we're in this. And one of the biggest in the next 6 to 9 months, one of the biggest trends that I see is the ability to track the audience engagement with these devices. That's what we all are after from a business perspective, is how do we figure out the trends? It's from the data, taking the data, turning it into information, and being able to process that information. So I think what we're going to see is enterprise companies and enterprise level software being developed to interact via voice, because this opens up technology for all kinds of people, namely people with disabilities, people with that can't necessarily use a keyboard, being able to interact with the blind with technology. This gives a user experience that allows just about anyone to interact with your brand every day.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thank you, Kareem. Thank you, Mark. You guys do an amazing job. I know that we're going to release not just new skills, but new ways of being able to educate everyone on these new platforms and how they can get involved with specific use cases. Different industries that start to adopt this. How do you see yourself, inside of that? So VoiceXP is the leader in being able to do that. So hopefully we can have that conversation with you. Before you close out this video, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube video. Don't forget to like the Facebook page, like us on LinkedIn, follow the company there, and we'll continue this conversation again another time soon. Goodbye and God bless.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Take care.